Okay, hi Diane, how are you?
I'm good, Doug. How are you?
Doing fine, thank you. Thank you for coming on the show. I
Oh, thanks
appreciate
for
it.
having me.
So, you're an author and you're in Canada. What part of Canada are you in?
I'm in Southern Ontario, the part that sometimes is really warm and sometimes is really cold, but it changes minute to minute. So,
Near Toronto?
about an hour west of Toronto.
Okay, are you on the lake?
We're in kind of in between three of the Great Lakes, so we're kind of smack in the middle and get weather from all of them. So,
Okay, because I've been in that area. A friend of mine had a house that was sort of on the wetlands of Lake Ontario. It was very beautiful there.
oh, it's just gorgeous.
So, you're also a writer. Your latest book is called The Conned Lady, and this is
hmm
part of a series. Your series is called the Wild Blue Mystery Series. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. How many books are in the series currently?
The Con Lady is book number 5, and it kind of wraps up the whole series. So it was a lot of fun.
So, this is the end. This is the final one of the series.
Well, yes, with the little loophole that I can wiggle through should I decide to write another one in the series. But for now, yes, it is the end of the series.
Okay. Are you traditionally published or self published?
No, I'm traditionally published. I write with Books We Love Publishing out of Alberta, so Canadian publisher, which is really cool.
Okay. Did they have any input on how long the series should stretch out for, or is that up to you?
I've been really fortunate. I've been with them since really early on when they were a really small publisher, and I've kind of been able to map my own series and my own journey. So I just kind of reached this point where this series organically just kind of needed to end for a while. So it's been really great that I just go to them and say, okay, well, I've got this book and this book ready to go. And they give me dates, or I pick dates and we go with it. So far, so great.
Okay. Well, I'm always curious about that because I've had a lot of authors on this show, and some have two books in a series, and others have had 15. So I never quite understand how one determines how many books is supposed to be in the series. Is it just you think of an idea and go, oh, okay, I can do that for the next one, and it just goes on, and then you finish when you run out of ideas?
I don't know about running out of ideas. That never seems to be an issue. But I think for this series in particular, because of the characters and the nature of the series, it just was the place that it needed to stop for now. Um, the lives of all of the main characters and stuff have kind of come full circle to where they're moving in whole different directions. So it just seemed like a really great place to stop for now.
So the first book, when did that come out?
Oh my goodness. 20, I believe it's been 10 years, 8 to 10 years. I'd have to look at the book again. I can't remember.
Okay,
But
well,
that was my very first book in any of my series. It was my first book total.
all right. So did you write like one every 2 years, or did you kind of lump them all together?
More like, well, that series in particular, I think there's been one every second year. But I've also got 3 other series on the go. So in general, I write just about 2 books a year. Yeah.
Is that your full time job aside
I
from
wish.
yeah you do something else? Yeah.
And it's kind of crazy because I actually work for professional theater. So
Oh,
yeah, I sell tickets to plays, and I've also started doing, I did a workshop and I've actually written my first play. So I'm just waiting, hoping that we'll workshop it and possibly stage it one day.
well, let's talk a little bit about the book itself and the series itself. Give us kind of a rough outline of the whole series, and then what's new about this book, or where does it go in this book?
Okay, absolutely. Um, Katie Mullins was working for a big corporation in the beginning of book one, and the corporation, the main people in the administration were being slowly taken down for money laundering, that sort of thing. And one of her bosses gave her money and told her, just run. Wherever you go, just run. And she wasn't quite smart enough at the time to, hop on a plane and go somewhere big and fancy and hide from the world. She ended up on a bus, ended up in some small town, and had fallen asleep on the bus and had no clue where she woke up. So she figured if she didn't know where she was, then the bad guys wouldn't either for a while. So that's kind of how the whole thing started. And she ended up in this small town and took over a bookstore and just kind of settled in and hid in plain sight, sort of thing. The series goes through not just her, but she and the private detective who finds her and helps to hide her, and helps, at the end of the series, helps her to deal with her past and resolve all of the issues and stuff. Because at the beginning of the last book, the people who were after her got out of prison and were coming after her. And that's what wraps up the final book, is all of these guys trying to find her, trying to get her, and she has to face the music and pay society for what she's done.
As you were describing this, two movies came to mind. And I want to see if you've seen them or if you've heard of them. The first one is called House of Games.
I have not. Nope.
Okay, that one's it's older. It's probably mid-'80s, late 80s that came out. The other one is called Reindeer Games. That one
I have heard of. I don't think I've seen it.
That one starred Ben Affleck. But they're both kind of psychological thrillers. You might want to check those out. They seem like a little parallel to your book.
No, they sound really interesting for sure.
Did you have any aspirations to have this series made into a film? Is that something you were pursuing at all?
I haven't pursued it for sure, but I know my kids have always told me that when it is made into a movie, that they're coming to the premiere in the limousine with me. So I'm like, okay, well, we'll see when that one happens. But eventually it would be very cool for sure.
Well, let's start at the beginning. How did you decide, or why did you decide to start writing books?
Honestly, I've always been an avid reader, and I've always written. Ever since I was little, I still have stuff I wrote in school way back when. And I really didn't take it seriously until probably about 2010, 2011. And oh no, actually that's not true. Sorry. 2007, we moved from Alberta across to Ontario, and I figured, I might as well meet people kind of like-minded. So I joined a writing group, and I started writing this book, and it was fun, and it was nice hanging out with people. And then people were slowly going, well, are you going to start submitting it? Like, what are you going to do with it? And so I did. I started to submit it, and had a lady in the US who actually, we were part of a critique group eventually, and she read it, and she helped me get my first, my agent at the time, which I don't have right now, but so it was just a real boost to find other people that enjoyed what I was writing.
Are you starting on another series yet?
I actually have 4 series right now. So there's Wild Blue Mysteries, there's Gilda Wright Mysteries, Glitter Bay Mysteries, and Sugarwood Mysteries, which is the only one of the 4 to take place in Canada.
Oh, you've got all 4 of those going at the same time?
I do. I'm crazy, I know.
Well, how do you keep track of everything?
I have binders for each of my series where I keep all my lists of characters, my settings. A lot of it, unbelievably, is just all stuck in my head. So it was really nice to finish a series and to be able to put the stuff from the binder into a folder that I just kind of put aside for now, and went, okay, I can clear that from my head for a while and just focus on the next one. So
have any of them overlapped?
No. There hasn't been any crossover between series, that and that may happen eventually, but right now it's just not. 2 of the series I'm working on right now, one of them is set in New York State and the other one is set out in Oregon. Yeah, out in Oregon on the coast. So little more difficult to overlap that one. But
Are they similar in theme or similar in genre, or are they completely different?
no, they're similar in genre for sure, because I tend to write like a lighter mystery, more of a cozy mystery. So there's not a huge amount of blood, guts, and gore. Lots of action, lots of fun. My main characters are mostly women, and women who just need to gain confidence in themselves and trying to achieve their own dreams and aspirations in life.
Okay, well, that sounds good. Well, I think on that we can wind this down. Was there anything else you wanted to add before we wrap it up?
Just read my books. You can find me on my website, and it's just dianebator.ca, and you can find absolutely everything on there.
And this book, the latest one, The Con Lady, it is out now?
Yep.
Okay. And it's available. People can go to your website and find the book there?
Absolutely. It's everywhere. It's Amazon, it's Barnes & Noble, Smashwords, you name it. It's everywhere.
Well, Diane, thanks so much for coming on the show. It was nice meeting you and talking to you. And best of luck with all your book series. I can't believe you can keep track of all of those. There's no way I could do that. I'd have to do one at a time.
Yeah.